Tourism in turmoil. Can Bali survive the price of its own success? An interesting opinion piece in the Jakarta Post. And Australia issues travel warning. Tourism office confirms Bali is safe to visit. Dengue fever cases claim to be under control. Stay tuned for details on these and other stories. Selamat pagi. Welcome to the latest news from Bali in Indonesia. This is December 15th, halfway through the month, 2024, and my name is Bruce. And let's start off with the extreme weather. That is a big problem here right now. And at 9:30 in the morning, and on Sunday here, it is 28.8 degrees Celsius, much cooler than usual. Humidity is all the way up at 80%. And the wind speed is 6.4 kilometers per hour. And we continue to get storms around the island. Yesterday, we had 4 separate storms here in Singaraja. I'm not going to do a whole segment on the extreme weather, but just mention so that people are aware of actually how bad this is getting. Head of the Bali Regional Disaster Management Agency, Bali Renton, released data on incidents due to extreme weather in Bali yesterday. This includes fallen trees at 2 points in various regencies and cities, with details of Karangasem Regency, 1 point, and Denpasar at another point, and everywhere else. Landslides in Jembrana, and there we had heavy rain that poured all day, followed by strong winds, resulting in hydrometeorological disasters, such as fallen trees and landslides. And in Mertasari Beach in Sanur, lightning struck a person and, well, he died, unfortunately. And so this is dangerous right now, being out in these strong storms. Residents are advised to be aware of high rainfall, which can cause flooding and landslides. With the increasing frequency of disaster, the Bali Provincial BPBD invites the entire community to increase their capacity and preparedness in facing potential disasters in order to realize the disaster-resilient Bali. And so I mentioned this yesterday, I mentioned this in past radios. If you have this intense rain and high winds, better not to go anywhere unless it's absolutely necessary. Okay, let's get started with the first one. This is an opinion piece by a student, an Indonesian Balinese student in London. And I've edited this down because it was really long. Tourism in turmoil. Can Bali survive the price of its own success? Bali, often called Indonesia's golden goose, has become a global tourism icon due to its lush landscapes, vibrant culture, and warm hospitality. Tourism has been pivotal for Bali's economy, employing millions and contributing significantly to foreign exchange earnings. In 2023, the international tourist arrivals, 5.27%, a 144.61% increase from 2022, but still below the pre-pandemic peak of 6.3 million. Tourism sustains over 80% of Bali's workforce, reflecting its dominance in the island's economy. However, this resilience has raised concerns about the cost of such success. While tourism drives economic growth, it comes with steep social, cultural, and environmental costs. Over-tourism has eroded Bali's cultural authenticity, turning sacred practices into tourist spectacles. Environmental degradation is rampant, with the island struggling to manage over 1,000 tons of waste daily and dealing with pollution, biodiversity loss, and strained infrastructure in areas like Ubud and Uluwatu. Rapid resort development has worsened land degradation and displaced local communities, while rising living costs have deepened inequality. Economically, Bali faces significant leakage as up to 51% of tourism revenues benefit foreign-owned businesses rather than locals. Many Balinese workers are relegated to low-paying frontline jobs, while foreigners occupy managerial positions, creating disparities. This dynamic fosters soft colonialism, where foreign entities dominate land and resources, marginalizing Balinese communities and threatening cultural identity. The pandemic exposed Bali's economic fragility, with tourism revenues plunging by 75% in 2020 to 21. 2020 to 21. This period offered an opportunity for reform, but the island quickly reverted to its previous unsustainable tourism model. The failure to embrace sustainability, diversify the economy, and empower local communities has perpetuated these challenges. Nevertheless, there is hope for change. Advocating for stricter regulations on waste management, land use, and cultural preservation is vital. Collaborative efforts with youth organizations like Seka Taruna emphasize empowering the next generation to protect Bali's heritage. Education and community involvement are key to fostering sustainable practices, ensuring tourism aligns with Balinese values and benefits locals equitably. By prioritizing sustainability and local empowerment, Bali can balance economic growth with cultural and environmental preservation, securing a resilient future. Therefore, Bali's government must ensure that all stakeholders uphold the principles protecting the island's heritage and sustainability without bias. This writer is a student at the Bartlett School of Environment, Energy and Resources, University College, London. So there we have one opinion from a Balinese student, and I have to say I agree with most of what he said. Well, almost all of what he said. Okay, now I just saw this yesterday that Australia has issued a travel warning to Bali. Not a travel ban like some Indonesian press have called it a ban. It's not a ban, it's a warning. Fact check, Australia issues travel warning. Tourism office confirms Bali is safe to visit. They always say that. Dengue fever cases claim to be under control. There are many mosquitoes in Bali, there sure are, in my house we've got some, causing the Australian government to appeal to its citizens by issuing a travel warning to be careful when vacationing in Bali. They said, be vigilant about the mosquitoes. Head of Bali Provincial Tourism Office, Pak Pamayun, responded to the Australian government's travel warning regarding dengue fever cases. According to him, the increase in cases occurred in almost all provinces. The peak occurred in April and May. The case fatality rate is relatively small at under 1%. Now, there are still cases of dengue fever, but not as many as in April or May, he said. Previously, the Bali Provincial Health Office on November 5th issued a circular for 3M, draining, burying, and covering. In addition, the Bali Tourism Board, BTB, spoke about the Australian government's travel warnings. The BTB chairman, Ida Bagus Agung Partha Adnyana, provided clarification based on the latest data from Bali Provincial Health Office, the Association of Indonesian Hospitals Bali, and the Indonesian Tourism Medical Association for the Bali region. He stated that dengue fever cases always occur every year, especially during the rainy season. Dengue fever in the province of Bali still shows that this condition is in the controlled category. The government and health officials in Bali have handled every case according to national treatment standards, so there's no significant impact on the healthcare system. Hospital occupancy rates throughout Bali are still in the normal category, he said. To ensure the comfort and safety of tourists, the government has issued a warning to all health officials, as well as providing guidance to the public and tourists to take preventive measures. In addition, BTB also suggests getting vaccinated against dengue fever before traveling. It's hoped that awareness of the surrounding environment, especially maintaining cleanliness of places that have the potential to become mosquito nests, will increase. It was emphasized that Bali remains safe to visit, of course, and BTB is also fully committed to maintaining the safety and comfort of tourists. We also invite tourists to remain calm, follow the recommended preventive measures, and enjoy an extraordinary holiday experience in Bali. Synergy between the health and tourism sectors, BTB ensures that Bali is ready to welcome tourists with full responsibility and friendliness. And another story on the Australian warning, and this one calls it a ban. Australian tourist visit ban has not yet impacted Karangasem. The ban on Australian tourists coming to Bali has not had an impact on visits to Karangasem because this area relies on visits from European and domestic tourists. Occupancy is still 50%. Starting December 20th, domestic tourists will enter and occupancy will increase until the new year, said the chairman of PHRI Karangasem, Iwan Karyasa. Only a small portion of tourist visits come from Australia, and even then, they are elderly tourists. Australian tourists who come looking for peace with a natural atmosphere that is far from noise. That's why elderly tourists come, he said. while the young ones usually visit Kuta and Sanur tourist attractions, or Canggu. Karyasa remains optimistic. The tourism industry in Karangasem is still growing until the end of 2024. Many hotel room reservations to celebrate the new year in Karangasem have already occurred. However, he said, because there were Australian tourists who suffered from dengue fever after traveling to Bali, the Australian government issued the statement to consider coming to Bali. Karyasa said it's the government of Bali that needs to respond to the Australian government's travel warning. By the end of 2024, I'm optimistic, he said, that occupancy will reach 75%. But Australians are pretty tough. They come regardless of warnings. They've done this historically in the past. And so, if you are here, right, you've got a couple things to watch out for now. One is the weather. You really got to watch out for that. And the other are the mosquitoes, dengue. And at sunrise and sunset, you want to have something on your arms and legs or whatever is available for mosquitoes to bite through. Best to wear something long sleeved if possible and some long pants to protect yourself. You do not want to get dengue. Okay, and what about immigration? Immigration intensifies supervision of foreign citizens during Christmas and New Year's holidays. Yes, they're going to be out watching, one, to make sure that everybody is safe, and two, to make sure that tourists are not doing crazy stuff. The Singaraja Class Immigration Office is intensifying supervision of foreign nationals visiting Bali during the Nataru holiday season. Supervision is carried out especially in tourist areas and the main entrances to Bali Island to ensure the activities of foreign nationals. Head of the Singaraja Immigration Office, Pak Hendra Setiawan, said the supervision carried out during the holiday season is actually no different from routine supervision. However, the intensity is going to be increased, considering the high number of foreign tourists that will be coming to Bali during this period. The supervision is actually the same as what we have done so far. However, during the Christmas and New Year holiday season, direct supervision at tourist attractions and entry points to Bali, such as Gili Manuk Port and Padang Bai Port, are being intensified. The surveillance team is divided into 3 teams spread across the 3 working areas of Singaraja immigration. That's Jembrana, over that way, Buleleng here, and Karangasem, over that way. Each team consists of up to 4 personnel who will conduct patrols and surveillance in locations that have the potential for many foreign tourist visits. We divide the teams to conduct surveillance every day, he said. Several tourist destinations that are to be the focus are Medewi Beach in Jembrana, Pemutaran Beach and Lovina Beach in Buleleng, and Ahmed Beach, Talamben, Chandidasa. These locations are visited by many foreign tourists, he said, so they need to be monitored more intensively. We also coordinate with relevant stakeholders to help monitor any suspicious movements or activities of foreigners. We've formed a foreign surveillance team at the district and sub-district levels that will help conduct surveillance, especially with village officials in areas where there are many foreigners. Still sick. Hendra also asked the public to monitor the movement of foreign nationals staying in villas, hotels, and homestays in Bali, and then report any foreign nationals who carry out suspicious or illegal activities. The Singaraja Immigration Office has worked with the local government to display the immigration hotline number on videotrons in several strategic locations so that the public can easily report. Oh, anybody seen a videotron? Oh, we have one right down here on the corner of Ayani and Dipanagoro and Pramuka, and what's the other one? Dr. Sutomo, I think. Our intelligence team is also communicating intensely, so if there is initial information that we need to follow up on, we will immediately send a team, he said. So, watch yourself while you're here. No hanky-panky. And so that is it for today. I'm not going to say anything about whether it's going to rain or not today because, wow, it is just suddenly, I can't even see the end of the ocean. Clouds are pouring in here. Need to get ready for the rain again. Okay, thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Take care, and I will see you next time.